Ford High School Weekly is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And by Rib Crib, smoking good stuff since '92.
Welcome to Ford High School Weekly. I'm your host, Deon Amate. Our guest this week is a multi-talented two-way player from Booker T. Washington High School. He's one of the most highly sought-after recruits in the state. He missed last season due to some injuries, but he can't wait to get back to the game he loves this year. Gentry Williams will be with us momentarily. But first, it's that time of the year, guys. Football season is right around the corner. And with that being said, our first Ford game of the week will be featuring Gentry and those Booker T. Washington Hornets in action on Thursday, August 26th against Southmore. The Hornets and the Sabercats will kick off our season in style. So be sure to catch Booker T. Washington and Southmore Thursday, August 26th at 7 o'clock right here on YurView Channel 3. Now, let's get to our conversation with Gentry Williams. Gentry, how's it going, man?
Man, doing good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. So let's go ahead and get it started off right. I mean, how's the summer been so far?
The summer's been full of, a lot of visits and trips and going to colleges and and then most important, growing with the football team and preparing for the season.
All right, we'll talk a little bit about that recruiting here a little later, but let's go ahead and talk about the preparation for the upcoming season. You and the guys over there at Booker T. Washington, seems like you guys have been working hard, been following y'all a little bit on social media. What's that preparation been like with your team?
It's been a different type of grind this year. It's not being satisfied with being average, being satisfied with being great this year. Just the mentality in the weight room is a lot different than the grind on the field. When we're doing conditioning, it's at a whole new level.
So I remember when I was playing back in my days, like way back, the summer workouts used to be like just a group atmosphere where we come together kind of as a team and put together some workouts in the evening during the summertime. What is it like for you guys over there at Booker T. Washington? What's the kind of training like, and what's it called?
Early in the morning, we call it summer prod. It starts at 6 in the morning. You're either running first or you're lifting first, and you're really just getting after it, for that first hour of what you're doing, and then you move on to the next thing. And it's a constant grind, but you're going to see the light.
So 6 o'clock in the morning before that heat comes after you.
Yeah. Can't complain too much.
I hear you. So with that being said, I know the preparations have always been something that you kind of look forward to because summer ball is right around the corner, but it's got to be more important for you being in the situation where you had to end your season a lot earlier than you expected last year with some injuries. How's the preparation been climbing back into football mode and getting over some of those hurdles with the injury from last year?
Just grateful to be back on the team, and that's, being able to compete with them. I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's not taking, the conditioning workout for granted, or not taking being in the weight room for granted, because I know how fast it can be taken away from you. So it's just really I've been grateful to be back with the team, be able to grind, and I'm just excited to be back on the team, ready for my first game this year.
Man, I feel you on that. A lot of people don't understand how fast this game can be taken away from you, and it's really dope that you learned that at an early age. I mean, it's probably not something that you wanted to happen, but I mean, the good come with the bad, right?
Yeah, it happened, so I'm just grateful for the opportunity. It's made me better in the end. I think I'm trying to tell my teammates, it can't go by just like that, without even you knowing. So really, just with that mindset.
So now, talking about the season, I mean, you as an individual and as an athlete, I mean, you've played a lot of positions over there for the Hornets. I mean, you were playing quarterback at one time. You played some DB, some wide receiver. Where can the people expect to see Gentry Williams line up this year?
I think you said it again. It's just really it's hard to put a position on it, because I feel like I'll be able to line up in different spots. So definitely on the offensive side, if it's inside, if it's outside, sometimes in the backfield, if it's playing quarterback, if it's playing running back, be able to line up at all those positions. And then definitely on the defensive side, line up at defensive back, if it's corner, if it's safety. Really, there's no name to it right now.
So with that being said, I mean, you being an athlete, an athlete of all athletes, in my opinion, going onto the field, what's your mentality like? I mean, if you're a guy who doesn't have a specific position, then you have to have a specific mindset going into the game. So what is your thought process when you're stepping out onto the field?
This when you're one-on-one. I feel like football is a game of one-on-ones. Just got to win my matchup. If it's blocking the dude ahead of me, if it's getting an outside release to get ahead of me, or if it's just straight out burning the dude ahead of me, or trying to make a juke move, you're trying to just win your one-on-one matchup, and don't make the game too complicated than what it actually is. Just out there, go play football.
I like that. I like it. One-on-one. Sometimes it's just me against the man, mano y mano. The speedster Gentry Williams has been running track since he was 6 years old. He played all the sports growing up, but he settled on football and track. We know he's a great football recruit, but Gentry might not be done on the track. When Ford High School Weekly returns. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're visiting with the fastest Hornet I know, Gentry Williams. You're an athletic individual, but you never get the chance to ask athletes, how did you get started playing football?
Most definitely. I was actually really involved in track before I even, thought about playing football. I started track when I was 6 years old, and then it was, I played all types of sports, soccer, baseball, basketball, all that. Really got into football around second grade. That was the first time playing. I say I took it serious for the first time when I was in middle school. It was probably the first time I ever took it serious. And since then, look where we're at right now.
So what was your position initially?
Quarterback. That was my first position, was quarterback.
And with starting playing ball in the second grade, was that just the position that you saw on TV? You're just like, that person has the ball in their hands all the time. I want to play that position. Or how did that come about?
I think my dad just put me at quarterback to help. I thought I was pretty fast. So the way they used to call plays back then, quarterback touched the ball every single play. So might as well get a chance to go score it.
I hear you on that one right there. So you said you already mentioned that you've ran track first, and we've all seen what you can do on the track. How has that gone for you? I mean, I know you had to miss this year, but I mean, tell the people a little bit about what you've been able to accomplish on the track. I mean, I know as a freshman you won state, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. As a freshman, I won state, and then got second in the 200 to one of my AAU track meet teammates. So like being able to go against JT in the 200 was actually a really good experience for me. We've had plenty of battles on. So he got the better head of me on that one. So we'll lead that one. But winning the 400 with a 47, I feel like I was very confident in myself of what I could do going into that year. I felt like I had an opportunity to compete for the state champion, like I did before. Probably running USATF growing up, just being able to compete against some of the best in the world, it was amazing, and I'm extremely blessed and grateful for the opportunity.
So, was that the last time that you were going to be able to run track, or is there a potential that you could do that collegiately as well?
No, I definitely want to try to run track again. If it's after this football season or if it's in college, I definitely want to be able to run again because I feel like I got some unfinished business on the track, so I definitely want to get back out there.
I hear that, man. You can't live. You only get one chance in this world. You might as well take a full advantage of it.
Yes, most definitely.
I've heard it said that 1 is the loneliest number, but a lot of recruits narrow down their choices to 5. When we get back, Gentry Williams lets us in on not his top 5, but top 6 when Ford High School Weekly continues. The Ford Game of the Week returns Thursday, August 26th as the Booker T. Washington Hornets visit the Southmore SaberCats to kick off the 2021 season. Then Friday night, August 27th, it's the Highway 97 rivalry as Sapulpa rolls up 97 to Sand Springs to take on the Sandites. August 26th, Booker T. Washington at Southmore at 7, and Friday, August 27th, Sapulpa at Sand Springs at 7, right here on YurView Channel 3. Welcome back to Forward High School Weekly. We're talking with my man from the Booker T. Washington Hornets, Gentry Williams. Gentry, now we talked about the upcoming season and everything, but let's go ahead and talk about what's been going on with you as an individual this summer. I mean, you've recently dropped that top 5 for everybody, and you can go ahead and mention the schools that were in that top 5 because I don't want to take your shine right now. So go ahead and tell us who the top 5 was.
Most definitely, it's actually the top 6, but we have USC, we have OU, we have LSU, we have Arkansas, Florida, and Missouri.
Oh wow! So top 6. Normally people take it to the top 5. So what was that 6th school, and kind of give me the reason for why all these schools kind of made it to your top 5, or excuse me, top 6.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, the 6th school is actually Missouri. I actually did have a top 5, and then going through the process, I remember they actually hired Coach Wilkes and Coach Fletcher, and having a past relationship with Coach Fletcher, it really spoke volumes to me. That he's now at an SEC school, I feel like they're recruiting very well. So, why not give Missouri a chance and keep that relationship with Coach Fletcher? And then with other schools, you look at OU, of course, being an in-state school, recruiting very highly as of right now. Lincoln Riley, he's very good at what he does. USC, definitely on the come up with their new defensive staff. Coach Hilton's doing a tremendous job in the Pac-12. Florida with Dan Mullen, I think his offense is very electric, the way he's able to get his playmakers the ball and go score. LSU, I think it speaks for itself as far as DBU. Not a lot of teams can, put in DBs in the league year in and year out. And with them actually winning national championship, I think 2 years ago, pretty impressive. And then lastly with Arkansas, I think Coach Pittman's done a tremendous job ever since he's been at the helm of it. And Coach Odom and Coach Carter and just the guys that have been able to pull in and trying to build that pipeline here in Oklahoma.
Man, after that response, I can tell you've been asked that question quite a bit. So let me go ahead and try to pose a question to you that maybe not a lot of people have asked you or been willing to ask you. What's going to take for one of these schools to kind of get the nod and say, okay, I want to go to your university? What is the specific thing that you're looking for?
Most and foremost, just a fit for me. It's just somewhere I can see myself growing on and off the field, and not, when times get tough as far as playing football, because I've seen, the worst of worst when I play football and the game's taken away from you. Do I still want to be at this university? Do I still want to go to class here? Do I still want to be in the meeting, stuff like that? Because I know it's going to be tough. And just the environment. I don't want to put myself in a bad environment, or, people don't want to be here, or people want to transfer. I want to put myself in an environment where people want to transfer here, people want to be here. And also, you want to contend, for winning championships and winning games at the end.
All right, so let me give you an opportunity to talk about this with everything that's just went down recently with the with the NCAA and the NIL rule. I mean, how does that play into effect about your decision, and what do you think about the rule, as a whole?
I haven't had much thought to think about the NIL and the new rule of being able to make money off your name. I don't think that's going to play too big of a part with my, wherever I sign to, because I think at the end of the day, you still got to be able to produce on the field before you can even think about stuff like that. So my main goal really isn't, what school can I make the most money off, or what school can I see myself growing in the merchandise land world. So that's not really a main focus for me. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, I still got an opportunity to play football.
I like it a lot. So now that we're talking about recruiting, I've seen you mentioned earlier that you visited a lot of schools this summer. I saw the clean pick from USC. I saw you were sporting the Florida gear. Saw you rocking some Missouri gear as well. So what were some cool places that you got to visit this summer?
Most definitely, I think my favorite place I got to visit this summer is probably Gainesville, the Swamp. I don't think it's nothing like the Swamp. Actually, being in the SEC, competing every year for a national championship, not only just the SEC championship, but, the national. I think there's just an environment down there was crazy. I mean, go to LA for a couple days. I mean, I think nobody's going to deny a trip to LA.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was
I
amazing.
feel you.
Spend time out there and just catch, see how the environment is there. And then I don't think you can ever overlook going to, Fayetteville and Norman. Because, obviously I think at Arkansas, that's probably the most family environment I got out of all my trips. With knowing so many people and already having those relationships built, I didn't feel like I had to really introduce myself to anybody. And then going to Norman, Norman's almost like a second home. I've been there so many times, so being able to go back there was special too.
So with that being said, I mean, Arkansas has done a great job this last couple of years recruiting in the state of Oklahoma and mainly recruiting in Tulsa. So what's it like? What do they have out there that kind of keeps them coming back to this state and to this city, speaking of, to kind of, keep getting athletes to go to play for the Razorbacks?
Most of it, I think it's what I said earlier, just the family environment, how they're able to make you feel not just only like a football player, but a real person, how they care about you and how they feel like they can win a certain way. It don't have to be a stereotypical type to win football games there. No. They're gonna it's gonna be a family first environment. They're gonna treat you like a human, they're gonna love you, but they're also gonna coach you when it gets hard. And I think most people are starting to realize what Coach Pippen is saying is gonna come true.
So when you were talking about all these schools, you mentioned, what they bring to the table defensively, what they bring to the table offensively, and you kind of switch back and forth. But what position do you kind of see yourself playing when you get to the next level?
That's definitely a tough question for me to answer right now. Being able to experience so many positions in high school and to put a position on it in college is great. So I know I have it down to pretty much two positions. If it's not defensive back, it's going to probably be slot. I haven't given much thought right now, but probably in the near future, it's probably going to have to come that time to start thinking about it a little bit more.
So what would help you make that decision? The school that you choose, or just where you feeling most comfortable at the end of the year?
I think you said it right there. Just feeling most comfortable. And when I sit down with my family and we talk about it, what do they see? What's best for me? And we'll just have those conversations because it's tough to put a real pin on it right now with things still being so early and me just trying to get my feet wet, being athletic again and playing football. So these conversations will come longer down the road.
Speaking of longer down the road, when are you going to start narrowing things down, and then eventually when are you going to try to make that decision?
Most definitely. I think it's right now. I don't have a time date in my head to when I'll commit. Just still enjoying the process and make sure I want to make the right decision. And like I said before, I had some conversations with like my family and people really close to me that I know that will have my best interest. But no time date. Just waiting to make the right decision.
All right. Well, I mean, if you ever come to that decision and you need somewhere to break the news, I mean, your boy Dion got you right here on Ford High School Weekly. I'm telling you, I got a spot for you. I got a platform.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
When Ford High School Weekly continues, we'll see what Gentry Williams predicts for the Hornets in 2021. I'm thinking you can be sure of one thing: they're gonna sting. Welcome back to Ford High School Weekly. We're talking with the one and only Gentry Williams. Gentry, now the upcoming season is coming fast, and now that you got all your visits out of the way, and it's time to kind of put the ball on the turf and get ready for the upcoming season. What can we expect from the Booker T. Washington Hornets this year?
A very fast and physical team. I didn't think, I was on the sideline for most of the season last year and being able to go to the games. I didn't think we played very bad. I think we played moments where we didn't play as a team, but the play Senior Say last year was not a success. I think it was far from it. I think we played very, very well. We played, very well from the previous year. But if we can build on that year, sure, we're going to be right there at the top with, with Chalktown and Bigsby. And just have that tunnel vision to worry about ourselves. Because when we're at our peak, I don't think nobody can mess with us.
So is there anything as a team or as a team and as you as an individual that you guys need to accomplish mentally to, go reach that gold ball this year?
That's definitely, I think just finish. and finishing, if it's finishing the play, if it's finishing the quarter, if it's just finishing the game in general, I think we just got to finish in general. We're going to face some mental toughness this year. Obviously, that's just the name of the game. Everything's not going to be easy. But if we can, have our minds ready to keep playing, we'll be just fine. It won't be no trouble for us.
Well, Gentry, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, man. And my producers have just given me the word that you guys over there at Booker T. Washington will be one of our first games here at YurView when y'all play Southmore on August 26th. So go ahead and let your teammates know over there at Summer Pride that they better get ready for the first game of the season because they're going to be on TV and everybody's going to be ready to watch them.
Thank you for the opportunity. We'll be ready to go.
All right. Well, y'all get to it, man, and appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
3 seconds, 2 seconds at the buzzer on the way. That's good.
Be sure to go to YurView.com/OK for highlights and replays of the Ford Game of the Week. And check out our podcast and past episodes at YurView.com/OK. The Ford Game of the Week returns Thursday, August 26th as the Booker T. Washington Hornets visit the Southmore SaberCats to kick off the 2021 season. Then Friday night, August 27th, it's the Highway 97 rivalry as Sapulpa rolls up 97 to Sand Springs to take on the Sandites. August 26th, Booker T. Washington at Southmore at 7, and Friday, August 27th, Sapulpa at Sand Springs at 7. Right here on YurView, Channel 3. Only the best in Oklahoma make the Ford High School Weekly. So until next time, I'm Deanna Motte, and thank you for watching.
Ford High School Weekly has been brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And by Rib Crib, smoking good stuff since '92.